very respectful to my man. I'm very submissive. Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else. A lot of these girls don't know how to do these things, so that's how I had the upper hand.
Rivah TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So if you do not know who these people are on the screen, this is rapper Gucci Mane with his wife Keyshia. The two of them actually have, are very open on social media about their relationship, their situation. Gucci Mane, the rapper, he was actually incarcerated at a certain point in time. He met Keyshia, who was a model at the time, and the two of them began dating. And basically, when he went to jail, he gave her $2 million, and by the time he came out of jail, he had $6 million.
Gucci went away for those 3 years. That he gave you his money and you flipped it. How much did he give you?
$2 million.
Okay. Gave you $2 million when he got in. When he got out, how much did he come home to?
6.
You flipped $2 million into 6?
I did.
Right, and then he married her and so on and so forth. They had children, all of that. And so recently, his wife was actually on a podcast in which she talked about a lot of things, right? She talked about business. She talked about her marriage. She talked about being a mogul. She talked about all different things. But the clip that went viral from the conversation was the clip in which she said that he doesn't have to do anything, in regards to the home or worrying about bills being paid. The only thing that he has to do is literally shower.
Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring the entirety of that segment of the conversation and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions on it. I'm going to go ahead and press play, pause and play, and, we're going to listen to the things that she had to say, but also the schooling that she was giving to other women and why, she was the one out of the, pack to kind of measure up and to become a wife.
I don't think any other woman could have been with Gucci but me. I am very stern. I am very respectful to my man. I'm very submissive, but also don't take no crap. And Gucci respects me for that.
Now, you guys know I have to pause and play, okay? This is an interview clip from, his podcast. This is his content. I cannot just play it full out. I know people going to be in the comment section and say, why you got to pause it? I literally have to pause it so that we can have the conversation. But normally when women say things like, oh, he could never be with no other woman but me. Like, no, he could have never been in a different type of relationship. Like, I'm the best he can ever get. Like, most of the time when women say that, in my personal opinion, I believe that it is them being delusional. Okay? Most of the time that women have the conversation that, oh, well, he could never replace me, and they think that they're irreplaceable. That is delusion stepping in. And they are trying to create this narrative that he can't get nobody else. He would never be able to get into a new relationship. Like, this is the top that he could ever get. But in this case, the reasoning behind what she's saying is there's kind of proof that the space that they're in and the balance that she creates for him, I believe that she kind of has the space to be able to say that. I'm going to be honest with you, because what she brings to the relationship and what she's going to get into, to me, is a very big difference than to what a lot of women are bringing to relationships, nowadays.
When babe do this, or if he's doing something wrong, I'm going to call him out on it. What you did wasn't right. You shouldn't speak to her like that, or whatever the situation is. Or I'll say to him, I'm going to take your onions out your meat, baby. Nobody else going to do that. You know what I mean?
Start off the conversation saying that she's submissive to her man. She's respectful to her man. But at the same time, she's not a doormat.
I am very respectful to my man. I'm very submissive, but also don't take no crap.
I think that the fact that she even had to put that part into the conversation is because people believe that when you are a woman who's in a relationship with a man, a strong man, a masculine man, and you are submissive to his leadership, you are submissive to him, and you are respectful of him, a lot of people really believe that that means that you don't have a voice. Like, because they don't see y'all two going at it, or because, they don't see you screaming at him or yelling at him or checking him, they believe that you're a mute, that you are a puppet. I've heard that before. That you are literally like, you have no opinions, you have no feelings, you have no brain for yourself. And that is actually not true. But it's the fact that when you're a woman and you know how to communicate to your man, you're going to get a very different outcome. You're going to get a very different man than the women before you or other women out there who have no boundaries when they are communicating to the leader of their household, to their spouse. You're going to get a different man. A lot of people think that the key is, oh yeah, he just tells you what to do, and he just points you into the direction. He tells you what to think. He tells you what to say, and you just have to sit there and be mute and say, okay, I'll say this. Okay, I'll do this. But that's not really what it is. It's, again, knowing how to get the message through to him so that he can hear you and receive it, and not feel like you're dictating anything to him, not feeling like you're emasculating him, not feeling like you're talking down to him. And a lot of women have they like to talk bad to the women who are submissive and respectful because they've never figured out the way in which how to communicate themselves enough to be heard or for the message to be received.
I treat Gucci so good. Like, I know I said this when he first came out, I would bathe him and whatever. I don't bathe him no more. But I used to bathe him. Now I still cook for him. Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else.
Now, this is what really got me. What got me is that she was saying that when her man came from prison, okay, that she would bathe him, she'd cook for him, she'd, do all the, just shower him. Literally and figuratively with everything that he needed. She gave him that adoration, that love, that respect. Imagine that the two of them have been in a relationship for a very long time. He's away in jail. They're only the two of them. She talked about the fact that, the two of them were on the same schedule. They were literally on one accord. And she wanted to give him that love that he had been missing for that long time. She wanted to create that space for him. And women, you had women who come onto the internet and were like, oh no, it could never be me. He a grown man. What's the problem with that? But it's like, it's the level of cherishing. Okay? I love this man so much. I cherish him. I admire him. I respect him so much. But the level of adoration that I have for him will allow me to, pamper him to the utmost. He don't have to go see, a masseuse. He don't have to, pay this money to go out here. He don't have to outsource anything because the peace in which he is looking for, the home environment is going to create that for him. But also as his wife, that's my duty to create that for him.
But I used to bathe him. Now I still cook for him. Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else. And
like I said, that's the whole reason why that clip in itself went viral, is because you have all the feminists, all the naysayers, all the women who talking about decenter men trying to strip away from the message. But those that get it really gonna get it. Okay? They gonna understand. And hence why I said that normally when a woman will say something like, oh yeah, he could never get a woman like me, it's delusional. But in her sense, when she's breaking down the way in which she not only deals with her man and respects her man, but the way that she treats him, it's like, yeah, that's a lost art. Because here we have it on social media where women are literally calling this woman a fool. And this is her husband.
That man, all he got to do is bathe child and go do his shows. Go to the studio, that is it. The wife takes care of everything else, and I love doing it. And if I don't do it, I would be miserable.
Why do you think you'd be miserable?
Because I want to take care of my man. I don't want nobody else to do it.
You know when it says that, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. This is that good thing they be talking about. Okay? This is also that wife they be talking about. And a lot of women believe that because they are women, that makes them wife. Because they are women, that makes them equipped to be the counterpart for their man. And that is not true. It's not true. Not just because you are a woman that equates to you're going to be a great wife. No, there's some growing in that space. There's some training in that space. And it's not up to, your childhood or, the situation that you had. No, it's up to you as an adult. If you want to be a wife, to study the same way that y'all be studying everything else. Same way y'all be studying the hairstyles, the nails, the whatever it is, the trends, the fads, is the same way that you need to be studying on what is going to make me a good counterpart for my spouse. Now, there's a lot of people, in the comment sections and stuff like that of all of these posts that were saying, oh, well, he's rich and he's a rapper and he's this and he's that. And so, of course, since he's so rich and all that kind of stuff, no wonder she's doing all these things for him and she has no problem. And, I get that, right? But she's also very wealthy. It's not just a one-person show. It's not like she's just at home and doing all these things. She's also a working businesswoman. And he is still her priority. But the tools that she's giving and schooling these women in are things that he don't have to be rich. Your husband is a working man. He has dreams. He has visions. He has a plan for you. He has structure that he has in place. All of these things. You still can provide all of these things at a different scale. Okay, maybe the two of you are working together at the finances or whatever the case is. And maybe, maybe he's better at taking care of all the bills and making sure everything is paid, whatever it is. But it's the point of having that balance, that compassion for your spouse. That, he has a vision. I want him to be able to focus on that vision so that I can make sure that he has a clear mind and a clear head. And again, when he comes around me, there is peace surrounding this man. Doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean that sometimes you're not going to disagree. But it's the way that you do it. But then also, in that space, there's some men who are right now, they have a vision, they have a plan, they have ideas, they have this. They can't even think straight because all their woman is doing every time they come home is stressing them out. He can't even, you're talking about, I want this and I want that. I want a Birkin. I want to drive this kind of car. I want us to have, this amount in our bank account. I want to live in this house. He can't even think straight. Because the time that he has peace in his brain to be able to think, the only thing that's on his mind is you stressing him out. You arguing over petty things. You causing petty arguments, petty disagreements. Foolishness that doesn't even matter.
I want you to pay so-and-so to do this. The chef, I cook for him. I buy his clothes. I do everything. And I want to keep the money at home.
Baby!
I want to keep the money in the bank.
Yes.
I invest. I do great investments. So it's like,
I have the same kind of mindset. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I have the same kind of mindset. Why would you want it to be, okay, you're in a relationship with this person, right? And I'm speaking to everybody, men and women included, but, to the women who watch me and stuff like that, I'm really talking to y'all. Okay, you want to be married, you are married, you're in a long-term relationship, whatever the case is. This man is signing up to you forever, right? Or you want him to. There has to be some kind of asset to this situation, right? As we know, take biblical terms out of it, take spirituality out of it. Marriage is a business. And you can't go up in anybody else's business and decide that you're going to do whatever it is that you want to do. You're not going to focus on the mission at hand. You're not going to focus on the game plan. You're just going to go in people's business and be playing around and expect to get your full pay. Okay? In terms of the relationship aspect, when you are in a relationship with a man, he is signing up to be with you and only you. Okay, if that's what you guys agree on. He's signing up to be a husband to you. You want him to be faithful to you, only have eyes for you, only be attracted to you. You want him to be a protector, a provider. You want him to love you and adore you and admire you. You're wanting all of these things out of your marriage. But are you giving him things to love, to admire, to adore, to appreciate? Are you bringing that into the relationship? Are you doing that? Are you focused on your, being the best version of yourself in whatever that means, so that when he looks at you, he can feel something, okay, in his loins? Are you bringing that to the situation? Are you, again, providing a space that he is comfortable and peaceful? Does he have to outsource himself and find peace elsewhere other than around you? That matters. What are you bringing that you are an asset to his life? And if the role that you are playing in his life, he can outsource it everywhere else, you're not really bringing nothing besides the kitty. And that's when you're going to be the most vulnerable, because there's a lot of them outside, okay? Different shapes, sizes, feelings, all of that. With more beautiful, faces, attractive bodies on the outside attached to it. So what are you bringing that's going to be the surplus?
The thing is, when you have a man, you want that man to need you, not want you. And Gucci needs me. He can't function without me. That's what you want in a relationship.
And I saw that firsthand working with you guys. I really did.
Yeah.
So not only is she doing all these things, not only is he not having to outsource, but her mindset is, I want to save his money. See, a lot of these women miss the mark when they seen the clip. They miss the mark completely because they so focused on, I'm not going to bathe him. She is thinking not just for herself in their relationship. She's thinking for him too. She's thinking of his best interest at heart. She's thinking of his mindset. She said before that when he was going away and, he was giving her the money, she didn't even want to take it. Then when he came out and was trying to give her a cut out of the money that she flipped for him with using, her wise and her wisdom to invest in, wise business ventures and all this kind of stuff to turn the money from, 2 to 6 million. When she was doing all those things, he was trying to give her money. She was like, no, I don't want it because this was for you. This is your stuff. I have my own stuff going on. You have a lot of these women out here nowadays who talk about they want a husband, they want a man, they want a provider, they want this. But all they are doing is standing there saying, gimme, 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 gimme all you got. They're not cooking, they're not cleaning, they're not providing, they're not, nurturing to their man, they're not bringing no peace. You have women out there who literally have this rhetoric that, oh, you need to stress your man out and that's how he's going to love you and adore you. So that's what they're doing. You're not going to get the same results. Okay? You're not. Do your best bet, put your best foot forward and let him tell you what not to do. Let him tell you, I don't need you to do this. We can outsource this. I don't need you to do that. We can outsource it. Let him say it.
I think that's the difference because a lot of women feel like this, Keyshia. A lot of women feel like, I'll hire the chef. I hire the nanny. I hire the housekeeper. Really put in the work to take care of your man, and you two are a unit. Yeah. What advice would you give these women?
Like I said before, if the only thing you bring in is what every other woman got, you not bringing nothing. Not bringing nothing to the conversation. Not bringing nothing to the table. That's when you're going to be the most vulnerable. Y'all be the same ones complaining about the cheating. I don't want him cheating. All these men cheat, this and that. If you're bringing the same thing to the table, what else?
They're going to leave your ass. Because, first of all, you have this man spending all this money. A chef, a nanny, a this, an assistant, a that. It's so much thousands of dollars going out. For me, I want to keep all the money in the bank. And
it's so funny because all the women who are consistently complaining about what they won't do, they don't got to worry about it. I say this all the time. All the women who consistently complain about, I'm not doing this. I would never do that for a man. You don't got to worry about it, sweetheart. You don't have to worry about that because that will never be something that you're going to have to worry about. Because with the attitude that you have alone, you won't be in that position to even be considered to be somebody's wife or counterpart. So you don't have to worry about it. And what I realize is that there's so many women who don't want to, they believe that a relationship, right? A marriage is just like how your parents love you, right? Like, oh yeah, you just come as you are and this is who I am and I don't have to work at it and I don't have to change and I don't have to do all these things. And that's not true. The two of you are coming together from a mutual attraction from one another. This person don't know you from nowhere. Okay, it might be a friend or whatever, but they were not born with you. They don't know you like that. They meet based off of your representative. And a lot of these women bring this representative to the picture. And then as time goes on, they start to get more comfortable. They start to change pace. And then all of a sudden, they're confused at why they're getting a different result from their man when they are no longer the woman that entered that relationship. Gucci man used to be overweight, okay, and I think Keyshia was a little bit, she was definitely bigger. I don't know if I would say she was massively overweight, but she was a little bit bigger. She definitely wasn't in her prime health like how she is now. Gucci man, he done got fit, being with this woman. They both of them skin glowing. They look like they're shining and healthy. You can see sometimes when men are not in the best relationship, just as you can see sometimes women who aren't in the best relationship, they don't look good. Right? You can see that they're wearing the stress. This man don't look like he have any stress in his life. Okay? He really don't. The reason why he parades around with her on it all the time, the reason why he's always talking good about her is because when he thinks about her, he thinks about good things. Sometimes you have men that can't say nothing good about their wife or don't even talk about them, don't even want to be around the majority of the time because when they think about them, all they think about is that monster of stress that she brings to his life.
And if I can cook, why bother? And I feel like I'm a great cook. The chef ain't gonna be able to cook like I can. I mean, if it's Valentine's Day, you want to hire a chef, but every day, a nanny every day. Sometimes you need help with the kids. I get it, but you want to keep that money at home. A stylist. Some of them don't have a sense of style, so they need a stylist. You know, I get that.
Again, not only is she thinking about being there for him and being, you know, the honest person there for him and being a true companion for him, but also she's thinking about him conserving his finances. Conservation. That's important. A man has a whole bunch of money and you're thinking about him not having to spend more money. Again, you're thinking of him not being a liability, but also you're managing the other possible liabilities that could be out there. That's real.
You want to keep some of the money at home, but you also want to be good at it. Like, he's not going to be okay with it if you're cooking and you can't cook.
Right.
You know, I grew up in Jamaica. I've been cooking from when I was a child. I know how to wash clothes. A lot of these girls don't know how to do these things. So that's how I had the upper hand.
He replaced, she talked about in this interview how she replaced his stylist. She's a stylist. She replaced, you know, he doesn't need a chef because she cooks. He doesn't, I believe they have a housekeeper, but like everything else, she's basically managing that. She's basically the house manager as well as his wife, as well as maybe his assistant. She's carrying all the hats. Okay. And some people would deem that as a sense of control. Okay. Some people would feel like, you know, that's a little controlling, you know, she's doing the most or she's doing whatever the case is. And, you know, she's inserting herself into different parts of his business. But the two of them are married. Okay. This isn't no girlfriend trying to jump into a certain seat. This isn't, you know, somebody who is a leech and doesn't have her own finances in check and is just trying to, funnel all the money into her own pockets. She has her own wealth that she has acquired. He has his own wealth that she's acquired. And her mindset, she's taking her own business mindset within their marriage and also helping him to manage his finances as well. You know, I believe that he said something along the lines of that, like, you know, before he went to jail, he had everybody around him who could take advantage of him whether that was financial advisor, assistant, whoever it was. And she came and replaced all that, showed him how to move the chess pieces, and then also probably in some capacity showed him a different lane of financial literacy. So controlling or not, is it a benefit or is it not a benefit? It is. And again, she's stating her claim of why I'm an asset to you and your life. A lot of times, you know, when men are asked like about marriage and like, what's the benefit of marriage for men? Because marriage is mainly for women, but like, what's the benefit of marriage for men? These are the things. These are the things.
Right.
You know, I grew up in Jamaica. I've been cooking from when I was a child. I know how to wash clothes. A lot of these girls don't know how to do these things. So that's how I had the upper hand.
I love how she ended the conversation by saying that's how I had the upper hand. The upper hand against whom? She probably knew that she wasn't the only prospect out there. But she's telling the women how she stepped out amongst maybe other women he was talking to, he's dated in the past, what made him go from being a man who don't want to be married, who doesn't want a wife, who doesn't see value in marriage, to marrying this woman, having her at the forefront of his life, and being his balance and creating more, business ventures with her by his side. She's letting it be known. Okay, don't think that just because I look good or whatever the case is, I still know how to cook. I clean. I take care of him. I'm there for him. I support him. I motivate him. I listen to him. I respect him. I submit to his leadership. I do all the things I'm supposed to be doing within my marriage, not because I'm a boss outside means I'm a boss in his house. Not because I manage wealth outside this house means that I no longer have to, take a position or respect where my man is or what I have to do within this relationship. Doesn't mean that he's not my priority because I'm making a certain amount of money. Like, no. She's really scolding these women and letting them know what the game is, because a lot of women look up to her and they have the same mindset of getting flown out. They see the gifts that he buys her, the lavish, things or whatever. And they think that, all you have to do is just look pretty and look nice. And you don't have to do anything for a man. You don't have to respect a man. You don't have to care about what it is that he has to say. And she's literally giving the game out there. And it went over women's head because they heard, I don't want to bathe no man. Which is crazy to me, because I think that's a beautiful gesture. When I saw this interview, I saw a woman after my own heart. Okay, I did. I genuinely did. I was like, you know what? That is really crazy, because sometimes you go to a certain level when it comes to how you look or think a relationship is supposed to be. And then when you see somebody has that same kind of mindset as you're like taken aback. Hence why I had to bring it here, because I completely understand. I'd like to know what you guys think about this entire conversation, the whole entire interview or the clip that I brought here to the conversation. I'd like to know your thoughts on it. Do you agree with her? Do you not agree with her? You think she's crazy? Or do you completely understand where she's coming from and the point that she was trying to get across? I'd love to know that in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Rivah TV.